Hi guys, today we're going to talk about graphing ordered pairs and relations that you might see from a table and from a graph. And the question we're really trying to answer is how can you use numbers and symbols to represent mathematical ideas, which is the same kind of question we're talking about in this whole chapter that we're working on right now. So today we're going to learn how to use ordered pairs and locate points and graphs, make graphs to represent relations. So graphing an ordered pair is pretty simple. You've probably been doing this for a while, but if you wanted to graph these 2 points on a coordinate plane, first you would need a coordinate plane with an x and a y axis. The first number, in this case 5, tells you always start at the origin, how many places to go, so you would go over to positive 5. And the second number is our y coordinate. It tells you how many places to go up. So really, you write an ordered pair with an x coordinate first, then the y. So the x tells you left or right. The y tells you where to go up or down. I like to think of it as an elevator. And you're on this ground floor here, and when you want to take the elevator, imagine you're in a long hallway of elevators. You're going to take elevator 5 and ride it up to the 3rd floor. If I wanted to graph K, 0, 4, in this case, I start at the origin like I always do, but the 0 tells me I don't go left or right at all. I take the 0 elevator and I ride it up to the 4th floor and I plot my point. Every time I plot a point, I want to make sure that I label that with the ordered pair or the letter. So you really don't need both, but in this case, you're given both just to look at it and see your options. So writing an ordered pair is just the opposite of what you did before. Instead of graphing it, it's already graphed and you need to say what it is. So if I wanted to write the ordered pair for A, I start at the origin. I go over to the second elevator, so 2 is my first number, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 7 would be my ordered pair. Okay, started at the origin. Or 6, sorry, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the ordered pair then, which I would write, is 2, 6, because the 2 tells me left or right on the x-axis, and the 6 is up or down on the y. If I wanted to go to B, I go over to the 3rd elevator. So I start at the origin. I go over 1, 2, 3, but I don't go up and down at all. So my y coordinate would be 0. All right, if I'm looking in a table, I want to, if I want to express this relation, 0, 2, 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 8, as a table, I determine the domain and the range. And the domain is just basically the x, and the range is the y. And we'll talk more about this in future units, but just so you know, that when I'm talking about the x coordinate, I'm talking about the domain. When I'm talking about the y coordinate, I'm talking about the range. So the domain here would be 0, 1, 2, 3. If you were asked to list it, you just look at all your x coordinates and you list them in these little brackets, or braces, I should say. And the range, you just look at the y column, and in the braces put 2, 4, 5, and 8. So pretty simple. If I wanted to look at relations as a graph, let's check out this example. A seahorse swims at a rate of 5 feet per hour. First, you'd make a table of your ordered pairs. So the x would represent hours because that's an independent variable, and the y would represent the number of feet for 1, 2, and 4 hours. So there it is. Okay. And then I can graph those ordered pairs because I have my x and then y. So it'd be, my first ordered pair would be 1, 5, then 2, 10, then 4, 20. So when I graph it, 1, 5, 210, 420. Now I can look at it and I can say, hey, these appear to be in a straight line. So, and in this case they are. And we'll talk more about graphing straight lines and things like that later on in a future chapter. But for now, that's it for this video. You can go back and watch any part as many times as you need to, but do make sure you WSQ in your notes. The work section will be, again, just like in our last few videos, you'll do at least 2 examples from the skill practice, and at least 2 examples from the problem solving practice, and then you can check them with the key, which is all on the unit guide. So you can find this on the unit guide.